Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our webinar on why staying remote is key to business and people's success. Well, let me just check if everything is working well for our live stream. We are streaming both on LinkedIn and YouTube today. So let's see. I think we're having issues with our LinkedIn live stream. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is post a comment on the LinkedIn live stream, so we can go live. You can watch it on YouTube. Okay. 1 second while I'm doing this. And while I do this, let me introduce myself. Okay. My name is Bea, but my name is Beatriz actually, but everyone here at BairesDev calls me B or Bea. And I'm currently living in São José dos Campos, Brazil, but I'm originally from Belo Horizonte. Um, Next week is my 2 year anniversary here at BairesDev. I'm currently working as an employer brand analyst. Basically, I host all cool types of initiatives like this webinar and some other events here in the company. And we'll have some other special guests with us tonight. As you can see, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but here are they. They'll be joining us later and introducing themselves. And before we move on, I'd like to know where our attendees come from. So please drop a comment on YouTube, LinkedIn if you're watching us there, saying where you're from, which city, which country. I want to know where you're from. I'm very thrilled to have people from different places here with us today, and I'll be checking those comments in a few. Again, this is a live event, so it might take a while until I see your comments. But while I wait for them, let me start by sharing the webinar scope so you can have a better understanding of the topics we are going to cover today, okay? To start, I'm going to give a quick introduction on BairesDev, followed by a conversation with our guests, in which we're going to dive into the exciting world of remote work, exploring the benefits, like multiple benefits it brings both to businesses and to professionals, and also understand their experiences working remotely, how remote work has impacted their lives and their careers. And at the end, I'm going to host a Q&A session. So if you have any questions at all about BairesDev or the benefits of remote work, anything that hasn't been covered in this webinar, or maybe you have a cool story, cool fact, you want to share something related to the topic of this webinar, please leave comments. I want to check them and read them here. Okay. So before we move on, I want to talk a little about BairesDev, introduce BairesDev, just in case you jump out of nowhere and ended up here in this stream and you don't know us yet. BairesDev is a tech solutions and software outsourcing company, and we were founded in 2009 by Paulo Zorin and Nacho DeMarco. And well, what can I say? We are a very dynamic, flexible company. Ever since the day we started, we've been working very hard to offer an exciting environment where a diverse network of high performing tech professionals can team up, can grow together, all of that working while working in very innovative projects. And at BairesDev, we believe in the power of remote work to empower professionals all around the globe. So, we like to think we connect very talented people to global opportunities here. And we're always determined to hire the top 1% talent in tech. But that wouldn't be possible if we were looking for them in a single city or not even in a single country. So remote work is part of our DNA. It's the way we found to break those geographical barriers and hire the most talented people, regardless of their geolocalization. Nowadays, we have people working from over 40 countries, more than 600 different cities. And now I'm going back to our comments here to see if I find anything let me see if I have comments saying where you're from. Okay, I see people from Brazil. I see people from Costa Rica, Dominican Republic. Okay. Canada. We have people from a lot of places here. Yeah, Argentina, San Francisco. Amazing, guys. I love seeing people from all of those different places. And again, if you want to join the global workforce, like in tech, stay here with me, please. At the end of this webinar, I'm gonna be sharing a link so you can apply to all of our openings. And until then, let's dive deeper into the benefits of remote work. Just a second, guys, because I see some people here saying that we haven't like started the live stream on LinkedIn yet. I don't know what is happening. This is a live event. I know those things happen. So let me just drop a comment there saying, hey guys, I'm sorry, I'm typing this while I'm talking to you. This is live, guys. We've been experiencing technical issues on to stream here. Please check us on YouTube. That's what I'm gonna say. And well, again, also besides like sharing the link to apply to our openings, I'm also gonna share, like, if you already applied. I see comments from people who already applied for positions here, and maybe you want to know the status of your application. I'm gonna share links and like everything so you can check this. But like, there's a link below here. You can already access some of our main links, like the jobs portal, the applicant site, and check your application status here. Okay. Well, to start, and I mean, we know that many companies have returned to the office after the end of the pandemic. It's a reality. We've been seeing people discuss about this in social media all over. But at BairesDev, we believe that the remote work model is one of the biggest keys to our success. I'm sorry. And remote work brings a lot of benefits that can positively impact professionals in a lot of different ways. We're gonna like dive deeper into that later, but we're gonna explore those advantages here at this webinar. Well, to start, I like to say that remote work allows for better work-life balance. I know this is a topic that people talk a lot. And it's because professionals in a remote setting, they can like better manage their personal commitments and prioritize their well-being alongside with other work responsibilities. Like, you don't need to spend like 2 hours a day commuting to work. You have more time to stay with your family, to like exercise, do things that you really like. And all of that, like this flexibility, can lead to increased job satisfaction and overall happiness. And again, talking about the flexibility it offers like it enables the professionals to have more control over their work schedules, like their work hours. And I mean, let's say some people are more productive in the mornings, some people are more productive later. So if you have like some sort of flexibility regarding that, you can adapt it to like peak productivity times. And of course, this will help enhancing efficiency and creativity. And well, if you customize work environments, like, I mean, some people prefer to work in a silent environment. Some people like to work while listening to music. If you're working in the office on a collective space, you probably won't be able to customize this. Like, you have to work on their chairs, their desks. So at home, like working at home, from your own space, you can customize it to your preferences, like make everything like the ergonomics, and the setups and everything is chosen according to whatever suits your needs better, which I believe is a great aspect of remote work. And again, like with the need for commuting, there's no need for commuting anymore if you're working from home. If you're working on a remote setting, employees they save precious time. And I say precious time because I've heard from people who used to take like 2 hours going to the office and 2 hours coming back, and it's crazy. It's like 4 hours in your day that you just lose. So you save not only time, but energy, because traffic, oh my gosh, it's awful, and money too, because you don't have to pay for gas or for your bus ticket or whatever. And these will result in reduced stress. It would also increase productivity, which is something very important for businesses that are thinking about remote work. And one thing that I like too is the fact that people can choose where to work from. Let me explain this better. When we think about remote work, we usually think of like home office, um, but you can work from like a cozy like coffee shop. I don't know, maybe the beach, the mountains. I like the concept of anywhere office because it allows professionals to work from anywhere. I mean, they just need a stable internet connection to be able to go to meetings and do all of that. And this freedom allows for more travel opportunities and for a broader perspective on work and life. Well, and while we're talking about this, I would like to invite our guests here so they can join me and discuss these topics a little further. Like they will introduce themselves. So yeah, you can see them already. Amazing. Hi, Santi. Hi, Dennis. If you don't mind, like start by introducing yourselves. So the stage is all yours now.
All right.
Thank you, Via. Thank you. Go ahead then.
I go first? All right, because the letter comes first. All right. Yeah, so I'm product designer. I've been here in BairesDev for 3 years now, and I've started as UX UI designer. Now I'm working more as a product designer. There's a silly difference. And also I work as UX developer, doing some mentorships here, also and participating in the different events we can have. Well, that's my backstage. Your turn, Santi.
Thank you, Dennis. I'm Santiago Cano. I am a recruiting associate manager here in the company. I've been working for around 3.5 years already, and I live in Bogota, in Colombia. So that's a little bit about me.
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
I didn't mention that. Yeah, I live in a nearby city from São Paulo. It's called São Caetano do Sul. So it's a very long name and a very small city.
Amazing. Guys, like, is this your first fully remote experience working here at BioStaff or not?
Yeah, it's my
Yes, mine
first.
too.
Yeah, mine too. Oh, that's amazing. And what's your favorite thing about working remotely? I mean, what would you say is your favorite thing? Has it impacted your work life, your personal life? What's the best thing about remote work for you?
Mine, I would say commute. I think that you might agree, but commute times for me, I used to commute around 2, 3 hours, sometimes even more, depending on the traffic. So it's a very positive impact on the time because I have a lot of free time, so I can do a lot of things now. I can go to the gym, I can watch a movie, I can read, I can learn something. So it's one of the positive impacts for me.
What about you,
Yeah,
Dennis?
no, for me it was that was my plan before came to Bars Dev is to have more time with my kids. So I have 3 kids, so I did a lot of kids, and and to have more time with them and to see them growing by my side is the amazing part of doing remote work.
Oh, that's great. For me, it's like, okay, I'm asking the questions for myself here. I'm just jumping in the conversation with my own insights. I said the stage is yours, and now I'm taking the spotlight for myself. Sorry. For me, it's the fact that, like, I get to meet people that I would never meet otherwise because I get to, like, again, I never knew anyone from São Caetano do Sul or from Colombia or, like, I get to meet talented people and learn from them and learn from their cultures, and it's
Yeah, yeah,
amazing.
I agree.
uh yeah. Well, but like, okay, just so we say we are not like we are biased here, I want to hear about like the challenges too, like the challenges of remote work. What are the biggest challenges in your opinion? How do you deal with them? That also can help people who are struggling with the same challenges.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first, Dennis?
Yeah, so I to me is the first thing is having your own setup always working. Like if without the internet you are not working anymore. So now we're relying on the electricity. So we need to take care of the outage, and you need to have a good connection. You don't the noise behind you is important for being like in the place without noise, and most of that is through you need to create a trust environment, because when you are working from different place, I think trust is the key word, because you must be working and nobody is going to see you. So they need to trust that you are going to deliver on time. They need to trust that you understood all the tasks you have to accomplish. And so that is the biggest challenge, is the communication and the build of trust.
Yeah, I was gonna say something similar, which is separating your working space from your living space, so you don't get burnt, so you don't get burned out. So you need to separate to organize things, so you get to, I'm done with my work, so now I'm in my space, in my own space, because having an office, that's what differentiates it, right? You go to an office, you're in your working space, then you go back, but when you're in your own space, it's harder. That's harder because
Yeah.
it's the same space for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the distractions. We have so many distractions when you're at home. The TV is on your side. You have the video game behind you, so you need
Yeah,
to be compromised with your work, and the distractions uh, can work against you. And also, I feel like the breaks. When you're working in the office, you have a lot of the breaks are problem, because there's somebody knocking on the door to talk to you when you are talking to a leader and the somebody is going to interrupt you in the middle, and you're going to have this that meeting in the corridor. But when you're working in on your chair all the time, and it's just you facing the screen, and you are not going to be interrupted, and if you don't take if you do not take care of this, you are not going to break, and you are going to be stressed. So you need to remember, hey, I need to wake up and drink some coffee or walk outside or see if it's sunny or rainy. So I think this is important.
yeah. And what
Yeah.
what you mentioned, Dennis, about the distractions, I think it's both a perk and and a challenge, because on one side, yes, you can go ahead and um, get your clothes washing while you're doing something. So if you're doing it in your break time, that's okay. But if you're doing it in your working time, then that's a distraction that you need to work with.
Yeah, yeah. Like again, like with those, I was gonna mention distractions are a challenge. Because, um, like you're in your home, everything is working there, like and happening there. Family, like sometimes if you live with people, people don't really understand that you're focused working, and they come and
Yeah.
interrupt you. I mean, it happens. But like one thing that I like to do, and I agree with Santi also, like that having a specific space for work, like a separate space for work, like that you don't really do regular life stuff there, it's good. Just because you don't overwork, because I tend to overwork sometimes. So if I have like, um, I like creating a routine even though I'm not in the office, so like starting and finishing at the same time, just so I don't lose track of that, and that I can also keep myself focused. But like talking about this like distractions thing and the focusing and everything, do you think that remote work has affected your productivity? If so, like how? If in a negative way, how do you manage that?
For me, it affects it in a positive way, because I get to be focused. Since I am in my own space, in my own chair, in my own desktop, I'm comfortable. I get to be more productive in that way. If I need to go and load some clothes in the washer, I can do it, and I can do it fast. But I know that I need to come back and stay productive. So it's both of a distraction, but again, a way of being more productive at the same time.
Yeah. Yes. And because like we were mentioning the challenge, and that challenge you learn fast. Like in 3 weeks, you are not going to be distracted anymore. Like in question of 1 month, you're not going to have the problems of the breakings. So like I like to set up not my routine but my goals. Like I have these goals for today. So if I
Mhm.
finish early, good. Now I can have some free time for me. If I don't want to, I don't want to jump directly to the work. I want to do a workout. I want to walk outside, spend some time with my kids. So then, all right, my goals, and that makes me sometimes like think for myself, like, what? I finished all my goals today. And and I'm used to, when you're inside of an office, you're just uh, get angry because you didn't get that productivity, because everybody around you interrupting you, and that meetings that wasn't planned, and you were inside of these meetings, and that don't happen anymore, and that time on the traffic, you don't know how much time that day you're going to spend in the traffic. Sometimes it's 1 hour, sometimes it's 2 hours.
Yeah,
So
and it stresses you a lot, so that affects your productivity too. Like if you're like
yeah,
wasting more time than you should, like on traffic, you may not have proper time to exercise. Like most people have other things to do beside work, like they study, they have a family, they have a home to take care of, do house chores, like everything. So if you're like spending a lot of time in traffic, or like getting stressed about going to the office every day and not being able to do, I don't know, like relaxation time, spending time with your family, patting, like seeing your pets. I love my cats. If I were working on an office setting, I would almost never see them. So that's a good thing too, like because it lowers your stress level, so you can be more productive too. I mean, at least in my opinion here.
yeah,
Um,
Totally, totally. Yeah,
yeah,
when I used to work in an office, I used to take a bus, and it was very stressful because you needed to get on time. You needed to get in the first bus to be able to get there. So when you arrived, you were already like a little bit burnt. So you took like 10, 15 minutes starting your work, while you started the computer, opened the computer, and that's something that you don't have anymore when you're working remotely.
yeah,
yeah,
and like as we talk about those benefits of remote work, I mean, I would like to highlight, like, because I promised benefits for both professionals and businesses, so I would like to recognize the positive impacts it also has for businesses, not only them but both employees and businesses in this case. So I'm going to share a few more insights on that. I'm going to share my screen again here. I mean, we are living in a very technological world. Technology plays a vital role in facilitating remote work and productivity. We have plenty of collaboration tools, like project and task management tools, um, virtual communication platforms. Like here at BairesDev, we have like the old good email, but we also use Slack for communication. So we just like chat and huddle whenever we need to. And all of like having all of those digital resources at our disposal, it makes us like collaborate very effectively, because this is something people struggle with, like when thinking about remote work. They think like, okay, but if I don't see people, if I don't talk to them, how am I gonna get things done? How, like you can still talk to them and see them, and sometimes it's even more effective because people only go to meetings they should, as like that is mentioned, and you can like manage your schedule a little better, and it's easy to reach out to them because you don't need like, like to look for them, um and I mean, regardless of the and this is one thing, like the geographical barriers, it is what gets me the most when thinking about remote work. Because if you want, like everyone wants the best working for them, of course that's pretty obvious if we're running a business. And if you want the best, why would you like limitate yourself? Like, okay, I want the best from a very specific like region from my city. It doesn't make any sense in my opinion. So people can still connect, people can still bond. This is one thing, like people think one when you're working remotely, of course there's a lot less chit chat, like small talk, definitely, but you still get fun moments with your colleagues. You still get to laugh at meetings. You still get to like, okay, if you're doing something that doesn't really need like you to be like 100%, like if you're talking or on a meeting, you can huddle with a colleague or like ping them on Slack and say, hey, you want to chit chat while we do like this, or you want to do this together. I used to do this a lot with a few colleagues, like, okay, let's review this together and talk, like share our insights while we do this. So I believe this is very valuable like technology usage for remote work. I have a question for Dennis here. Okay, so Dennis, you're working for a client, right? So how do you manage the relationship with the client? Like, do you have regular meetings with them? Which kind of communication tools do you use?
So yeah, I think the communication is a very important thing there. Our relationship is really amazing. I really love the client that I'm working with, and we have, because I'm in the creativity area, and creativity. You're not going creativity, collaboration, or ideations, things like that are not related to a space. So it's related to the people and the communications. That's why we use a lot of Miro board, freehand from Envision, Figma, FigJam boards, a lot of creativity tools. Also, of course, Slack, Teams, and Jira for our tickets, our Scrum, Agile process. And but really, we do a lot of brainstorm sessions, and it can be anywhere, like even using some games online.
Good. Okay, and like talking about this, like you have a lot of like options and tools there, and I already told like that I'm a really like a people person. I like chatting to people and getting to know them, and like so to me, I really value the fact that I can create bond like with like I can bond with people in a remote setting. Do you believe like that you made friends like at
Yes,
least
a lot
very
of
good
them.
colleagues here at
Yeah, I
working remotely?
I have like many off topic connections or like off top calls, just to talk about life and share something that we are learning together, or something for from family. Like my colleague there, he my friend, he have had a boy, and I was like sharing with him like the tips for how to raise your
Parenting.
kid, parenting, and books for to read, and a lot of that. And especially
Amazing.
like we are talking about all the places we want to go, and because we don't have like routes now, and everybody's sharing all the time, hey, let's go this place or that place. So it's very good.
Do you agree, Santi? Have you made friends?
Totally, totally. Yes, you get to know people from different parts of the world. You get to know different cultures. You get to know different food, different
Mhm.
festivities. So that's good, and you get to find people that have the same hobbies as you as well, but in different countries. So that's another thing as well, which here in the company we actually have different chat groups for that, for for food, to discuss movies. So it's really good
To share pictures of
to
pets.
share pictures.
Yeah.
Yes, to that.
Yeah,
We
like
actually also encourages people to travel as well, because
yeah.
I have known people that have already traveled to my city from different cities, from different countries even. So it's something that encourages as well.
Yeah.
By the way,
Well,
today was the Halloween, so I'm in my custom. Uh,
oh yeah, I see.
Oh,
Like it's the Hellfire Club, like the Stranger
yeah,
Things. Like
yeah,
okay,
nice,
yeah,
nice.
amazing. Yeah. See, like we always get to like we're doing something here, and we always get to know like things from people that we really appreciate, and then we can bond with them. So I mean that's amazing in my opinion. Amazing, amazing. So
Definitely.
yeah, like and well, if we're talking a little bit about like those like eliminating those geographical barriers, like I want to talk about global perspectives because, as Santi said, like we can always learn about their culture, like different food, some other things. But like one thing that I really value is that like we learn different perspectives, not only in life but also on how to work. So if a business embraces like remote work, they will be willing to like have a, a talent pool from all over the world working for them, and these like those individuals will bring different perspectives, different like backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, like mindsets, and that makes those teams more diverse. And I believe diversity is key, like for a business to succeed, because if you have like everyone thinks the same, you're not gonna get like anywhere past where you already are, you know. So if you have like a diverse like group of people working with you, that can help foster like innovation, creativity, problem solving. Like the mindset is very different. Like you're always learning and like sharing too. And maybe someone said something in another meeting about their way of managing things. They taught you like about a tool they use in their country, in their city, you never heard about. So I really like that aspect. And turning our attention back to the employee satisfaction thing, which is something really important for remote work. I mean, it also impacts the business, you know, flexibility and satisfaction from employees, like that flexibility that remote work offers. It has a direct impact on productivity levels, as we previously spoke. I've been reading a lot about this recently. I've read an article from Harvard Business Review and also like Fortune. They like have published studies saying that like remote employees are more productive than non-remote workers. So I believe this is a great thing. Like, which business would not want people to be more productive, you know? And in addition to increased productivity, remote work has also been linked to lower turnover rates. Research data indicates that like 25% lower turnover rates, which is amazing, on remote settings, which means that employees who have the opportunity to work remotely and take care of their like personal life balance, you know, all of those things, they have lower stress levels, everything. Those people are more likely to stay with an organization for a longer period. And yeah, I mean, again, this is just because remote work provides great work life balance. If we embrace remote work, we can create an environment that promotes employee satisfaction and long term commitment, which is like, if those two are aligned, I mean, a happy person that wants to stay with you for a long time, they'll be doing great things for you. That can only lead to better results to business. Yeah, Dennis?
Yeah, just in addition, what about what you're saying, like business like Google, Lego, Facebook, they try to build rooms of creativity, full of decoration and like choosing colors. But when you are talking with employees being in the place they want to be, with the things they want to have, then this idea of building a specific room goes away because hey, they are in the best place they can be.
Yeah, yeah, I like that idea.
Definitely.
And like going a little further on, like I mean, let's talk a little bit on from the business perspective here. So, Santi, you're a manager here at BairesDev, and I mean, as manager, you have many responsibilities, and your goal is to like lead your team and deliver the best results possible for the company. You've talked about how remote work has impacted your life, but speaking from a leadership point of view, like how do you manage a team working away from them? Like, do you believe that a remote team can deliver better results? I mean, what are the challenges? Just let me know a little about your experience on a remote setting, managing a team.
Yeah, I do believe that they can deliver the same or even better results than working in an office, because as we already talked, we're working with already happier people, people that don't have to travel, that don't have to commute, that don't have to go through that stress. These are people that are already happier. There are challenges, of course. So we have a challenge in communication. So you need different tools to be able to maintain a constant flow of communication with your team. Also, you need to deal with different cultures, which is again a positive but a challenge, a positive thing but a challenge as well, because we all have different cultures, different ways of communicating, different ways of how we like things to be said, things to be done. If I say, hey, I need you to do this, it's different if I say it to someone in my country than to someone in Brazil or in Argentina, for example. Or the way that you're receiving feedback, that you like to receive feedback, it's different between cultures as well. So you definitely need to learn about, the different ways of communication, and that's a challenge in that you have when working remotely. Plus, what you already mentioned before, which is dealing with different time zones and different working schedules as well, because since everyone is in a different country and a different time zones, it's something that you also need to take into account. There are people that, because of their culture, they take 1 hour of lunch. There are people that take 2 hours. There are people that take half an hour. So when managing a team, or when working with a team, you need to take that into account as well. But how do you overcome that, or how do you um, get the benefit of that? Well, having a lot of communication tools and creating a highly communication environment within your team and
Yeah,
promoting that.
and there's also tools like for that, like for Google
Yeah,
Calendar, your team can share their calendar with you, so you can check when they're available, or out of office. I like that, and I believe that like those time zone differences will work for like will happen for a lot of teams here. We're located everywhere, basically. But sometimes what it work happens in those cases is that like the company or the client, Dennis, correct me if I'm wrong, like they require a minimum overlapping of hours, so like you're very flexible with your schedule, but you have like to have at least 4 hours, 6 hours like overlapping with this time zone, like this working hours, just so you can like have meetings and do all of that. Especially because like okay, like, and when traveling too, like if you're traveling to a different place with a different time zone, you might be end up like working in weird times, like in the middle of like the night or something like that. But mostly for very specific meetings or things, because if you have flexibility to deal with your schedule, I know that like it depends on the role, the manager, the time zone, everything, but like if you have some sort of flexibility regarding that, you can always like manage your own schedule and do things on the most appropriate hours for you.
definitely.
Yeah, guys, I've just noticed that we've passed our like time, so I don't think we're gonna have time for Q&A. I'm just gonna show a few things here. As I promised, like I'm gonna give you a few tips and on how to apply for our openings. Well, through this link that you see like right here in the bottom or on that like presentation, or through the QR code, you will access like a series of different like links and buttons to access some of our pages. And those are like our social media pages, our jobs portal. The jobs portal is where you're gonna see all the openings we have currently here at BairesDev. The applicant side is where like you fill your information, you apply for the roles, you check the status of your application, you do your online tests. So it's a very valuable link too. Um, we have our own website there, and our referral programs website, which is amazing. You can refer, like, if even if you don't think BairesDev is the place for you, but you think it is the right place for someone, you can refer that person and you can get like bonuses for like referring them. And also, one thing that I really like is like for you to answer our webinar survey. It takes less than 5 minutes. It's really important for us to like make those events even better and like come up with new topics and new things you want to see in the future. So go there, answer that survey. I'm asking you, okay? I gave you a lot of good tips today. You can do this for me. But yeah, I mean, I think I have like time for one question here because I found it really interesting. Like someone asked if we are speaking like English, Portuguese, or Spanish in our channels. And I would say that it depends. Like English is our like main language here at BairesDev just because we are located everywhere. But if I'm on a meeting with Brazilians, like I had a meeting with Dennis before this webinar, and we mostly spoke in Portuguese during that meeting. But with Santi, for example, I don't speak Spanish. Santi, do you speak Portuguese?
No,
Okay.
I want to learn though, but not yet.
So yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
We speak two new languages, Spanish and Portuñol.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah, Spanglish and Portuñol.
yeah, we do that too. I mean, I'm trying to learn Spanish, but my Spanish is not that good still, so I don't really like use it to communicate daily. So English is a kind of like the glue that bonds us all together. And most of our documentation and our processes are written down in English just for the sake of everyone being able to understand it. So yeah, a certain level of English is required if you want to work here at BairesDev, but we have openings for different like English level requirements. So if you're like feeling like, I don't know, insecure about your English level, I encourage you to apply anyway. We're gonna try to find an opening that matches it. Okay. Um, Let me see if I have, yeah, English communication with the client. Like, Dennis, do you communicate in English with the clients?
Yes, and for everybody that don't be scared about your English, because I've started like when I did the English test, I was like in B1 and not even a good English at all. And but if you face your fear and try to, they were people are very comprehensive,
Yeah.
and you can fast grow your level. Like if I did the test the other day, and now I'm B2.
I mean,
But
I think you're a little better than B2, to be honest. I think you're C1. Come on. Like, I'm not judging your English level here,
you
but I think you
no, but
communicate very well. That's one thing, like, because people are very insecure about their English level. They go like, I've went into like countless meetings with people who say like, I'm sorry for my English, like both here at BairesDev or outside BairesDev. But the fact is, like, communication is about communicating. You don't have to have
yeah,
perfect grammar, perfect like
Totally.
accent or anything. If you are able to like maintain a conversation in English, explain what you're doing, and like I think that's enough, you know.
yeah.
So
Use your hands. Like you want to say something,
Yeah.
that.
and now we're going back to the games part where we play mimic, you know, like so yeah, I love it. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining. Everyone, please don't forget to answer the webinar survey, chat this QR code or the link below here. The link is there. This webinar will be available on our YouTube channel in case you want to like watch it later on demand or share it with your friends. So please share it with anyone you think it might like find interesting. I saw a comment saying like to send this webinar to a very like important businessman who is against remote work. I'm not gonna say his name, but I mean, if you wanna, you can send it to him. Like maybe he'll change his mind. I don't know. Guys, thank you so much for joining, and thanks everyone for attending. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Bia.
Thank you.
Bye
Have a
bye.
great night and
Bye,
healthy.
everyone.
You
Oh
too.
yeah, happy
Bye.
Halloween, everyone.
Oh,
Bye.